may I present to you a voiceover talent, moderator, and professional events host, Miss Lia Guerrero-Santos.
Hello, everyone. Good evening, and welcome to Realities Unmasked. I'm Lia Guerrero-Santos, your host. Thank you for joining us. It's wonderful to see all of you come together. Welcome. Tonight, we will witness the photo essay presentations from the graduates of the Photographers on Demand, or PON News Asia's Photojournalism Certification Program. This is a culmination of their 11-week extensive virtual workshop. And we will be hearing and meeting the batch two graduates themselves and many, many more. We have a lot of exciting things happening tonight as we recognize and celebrate new learnings, perseverance, and talent. So do stay with us. And we want this gathering to be interactive and engaging. So please do share your questions to our photographers, your thoughts, and even messages of support to them in our chat box. We're going to be going through them a little later on. And now, to officially welcome us to tonight's event, I am happy to present to you an accomplished and experienced photographer who will be giving the opening remarks. He has worked as a Manila Chronicle staff photographer, an Asia Week staff photographer for 13 years, as well as a Bloomberg News on assignment photographer. Please welcome the co-founder of Pond News Asia, Mr. Edwin Tuyay.
Hi, good evening everyone. Thank you very much, Miss Leia, for that wonderful introduction. Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat, sa mga bisita natin, sa batch 2. Siyempre, kayo ang bida ngayon. At andito na ba yung ating mga mentors? Andito na si Jhoe Galvez. Iyon. At of course, ang ating founder, si Brother Richel Mascareñas. So, sabi nga ni because we have so much to cover tonight, hindi ko na patatagalin. Ibabalik ko na uli kay Lia. Ganong kabilis. Di ba? Oo, excited na ako mapanood. That is why ayoko nang magtagal pa. Welcome everyone. Back to you, Leia.
Maraming salamat, Mr. Tuyay, for that warm welcome. Talagang napaka-exciting ang gabi natin. I'm sure yung rigorous training mo to our graduates has really prepared them for tonight. Okay, so the past 11 weeks have not only deepened our graduates' love and learning for photography, it has also been a transformative experience for them, seeing and documenting things in a totally new perspective. So to hopefully tell us more about this and to speak in behalf of the batch, I'd like to introduce the program's Batch 2 class president, Mr. Kel Malazarte.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Miss Lia, for the introduction. I'll just do it very quickly. First of all, very grateful. Thank you to Pond News Asia, to Sir Edwin, Sir Richel, and for having this kind of program. And with that, we'd like to extend our gratitude, especially to our instructor, Sir Jamie Domingo, and the guest mentors, Sir Jhoe Galvez and Sir Rolex de la Peña. And I would like also to appreciate yung mga fellow graduates ko for their efforts and lahat ng ginawa nila. So, ourselves as an MT to half-filled container, we're supplied by knowledge and wit by these people. And along the weeks that we were learning, it was emphasized to us that photographers are the ones creating the images and portraying the story, whether because of an experience or a compass or whatnot. Thus, there's nothing neutral. So, but what is clear and should be constant is we are always biased of the truth. So, ayun lang po. Let's just join us as we present our photo essays.
Thank you, Kel, for taking us through what it was like to experience the course, your learnings as well. Grabe, importante talaga ang role ng photographers throughout history. And in a short while, we're going to be hearing more from the graduates themselves as they showcase their work with us. And as mentioned earlier, we'd like to hear from you too, okay? Our audience, please feel free to share your questions to our photographers about their work. We also encourage this to be a positive space. Feel free to send in good vibes and messages of support to them in our chat box. We're going to have our open forum a little later on. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to one of the highlights of the evening, the showcase of our graduates' photo essays. I'll be calling each graduate one by one, and each of them will be giving an overview of their work, after which their work will appear on screen. So, without further ado, let's begin with the first presenter, a technical writer by profession. She has previously dabbled in street photography and now had heightened her interest in photojournalism, which she says has helped her capture photos properly and accompany it with the right captions. She hopes to capture more lifestyle shoots featuring people and culture, which would merit as her dream project. Please welcome Suzie Cembrano.
Good evening. I would like to capture photos. It's a good way to see the other side of the text written and to be visually seen by the reader what is reason. My project Intramuros shows the life beyond the historical walls.
yung kanilang salad, there's something. Ano mahal?
Thank you, Susie, for capturing the walled city beyond the usual tourist spots. Now, up next, we have a graduate of computer engineering technology from the Technological University of the Philippines. He is a multimedia officer of the NGO Solar Village Foundation. He's also an independent photographer and a freelance graphic designer. Aside from photography and graphic designing, he enjoys cycling, music, and is a proud vegan. Interestingly, he says that his dream photojournalism project is in a slaughterhouse. Let's welcome back batch to President Kel Malazarte.
Thank you again, Miss Leah. Good evening again, everyone. Before the course started, I was working with organizations advocating for farmer and peasant rights. Hence, covering a related story, food security, sustainability, etc., was what I initially decided. But after the first anniversary of the lockdown on March this year, things happened to feel like day zero. And the mental toll of the situation kept me to not function well. So within my safe space, an urban garden, kilometer away from our residence, was my best shot. So join me as I present a story of prosperity and at the same time a timeless grim reality.
Thank you, Cal, for taking us through the journey and challenges of urban farming and gardening. I don't know if our inner plantitas and plantitos have been awakened through the richness of your photos. So well done. And now I'm excited to hear from our next presenter. She is a known event planner in the industry of weddings, parties, and other socials. A graduate of Abbey Communication Arts and Maryknoll College, her interests include acrylic painting, pasta making, and plant-based eating. She intends to take her photojournalism learnings to the next level by documenting behind-the-scenes work of her fellow suppliers during events and unmasking lifestyle bloggers from their public image versus their reality. Please welcome the vivacious and fabulous Bangs Zaldivar.
Thank you, Lia. Evangelista Avenue is the main thoroughfare of Barangay Santolan, Pasig. It is where merchants sell their goods to serve the needs of its 53,849 residents. There are about 450 registered businesses operating along the 2.5 kilometers long street, and there are also ambulant vendors. Evangelista Avenue has always reflected what every calamity brought to the barangay. It is where residents from other streets run to during fire, and it is also where residents from low-lying streets evacuate during floods. My thoughts went to the merchants during the pandemic and lockdowns. For sure, they will find a way to survive, I thought. They always did. But what's on their mind? I wanted to know. Ladies and gentlemen, my photo essay.
This is the Reyes compound, owned by a big clan in the barangay. Landed families along Evangelista Avenue have long converted a portion of their lots to commercial spaces for lease. The merchants of Evangelista Avenue adapt to the pandemic immediately, owing it to their experience to Typhoon Ondoy in 2009. Ondoy got the street flooded very quickly and very little was saved of their goods. Introducing some of the many merchants of Evangelista Avenue. Business and commerce continue with adjustments complying to the barangay's health and safety protocols. Residents are still advised to go out only for necessities. Wearing of face masks and face shields and the practice of social distancing are strictly enforced. This enables vendors to sell safely. Their will to survive this long trial emerged strong. Today, its vibe is like normal, except that people are in face masks. Every vendor is a picture of resilience. Their simple appreciation of their capacity to serve and earn for their family's basic needs is evident. Oh, and I guess I can say that behind the masked faces of these merchants of Evangelista Avenue are smiles of hope for not that the pandemic ends, but hope that they will live each day strong.
Thank you, Miss Banks, for telling the story of everyday people, their realities, and the dignity of their work at the midst of the pandemic, and lovely narration as well to go along with the photos. Now, let's meet this graphic artist who studied Bachelor of Fine Arts, major in advertising from TUP Manila, apart from photography. Her interests include pattern, drawing, and painting. She also looks forward to publishing a photo series about plastic pollution. Let's meet Demi Mabansay.
Good evening po for everyone. Good evening to everyone. My work is about community pantries that multiplied in time of pandemic. What inspired me the most about pursuing this story is the fact that in spite of what's happening, um, in spite of our current situation, our continuous battle with COVID-19, the solidarity of Filipinos are still intact. And with that, I present to you my photo essay.
Thank you, Demi, for showing us that amidst the harsh realities of the pandemic, there's still community solidarity and it can uplift so many others who need support the most. Our next presenter is a graduate of BSc Accounting and is a retiree. She enjoys taking pictures of landscapes, flowers, sunrise, and sunsets, and hopes to take her photography towards matters of social relevance. Her dream project is taking photos of children with special needs. Please welcome Ebbey Pascual Lagmay.
Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. Sa aking pagbisita sa Taal Lake, napukaw ang aking interes na mga fish cages at mga nagpapatuka ng tilapia. Gamit ang aking cellphone, ibinabahagi ko ang aking photo essay. Tunghayan ninyo ang pagsilip ko sa buhay ng tilapia, sa buhay ng mga nagpapatuka, at sa buhay ng lawa ng Taal.
Thank you very much. Maraming salamat, Ebbey, for taking us to Taal Lake and that journey, very, very captivating. Parang bigla tuloy gusto ko ng tilapia. Pero fresh. Walang fish kill. Again, to our viewers, hello, good evening. If you just joined us, Batch 2 is presenting their photo essays, and we encourage everyone to send in your questions and comments. We're going to be having our Q&A later on. We also are seeing a lot of wonderful messages to our graduates of support. Maraming salamat. Very interesting stories through photos. We're going to learn the story of our next presenter. He's a photographer at Shade 121 Photography and Events and is a volunteer photographer for JIL Church Worldwide. Let's meet Ding Sulit.
Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. Ang unang dahilan po na nagbigay ng interes sa akin upang i-pursue ang istorya ng mga art painters na sina Cesar Jr. at Cesar Paeng, ang magtiyuhin, ay dahil kahanga-hanga ang kanilang diskarte sa pag-aalaga ng kanilang profesyon. Pangalawa ay related din ito sa photography. At tulad ng mga photographers, tulad namin, ay nawalan pansamantala ng mga events dahil sa pandemic. Sila naman ay napagsaraduhan din ng mga pwesto sa malls at iba pang lugar. Pero nagtiyaga sila at naghanap ng paraan kung paano sila makakasurvive. Taglay ang kanilang determinasyon at passion sa kanilang larangan. Sa aking panayam kay Cesar Jr., nalaman ko na 12 years old pa lang ay mahilig na siyang magpinta. At dahil hindi na siya nakatapos ng high school man lang, ay ibinuhos niya ang kanyang panahon sa pag-aaral na magpinta. Sinabi din niya na wala siyang pintor na ginagaya or kakilala man lang o nagturo sa kanya maliban sa kanyang ama, Cesar Sr. Nakapagturo na din siya ng mga kamag-anak niya sa Visayas at Mindanao. Ngayon, ay may mga apo na si Cesar Jr. at ang tanging pagpipinta, ang kanyang source of living mula pa noon para sa pamilya at ilang tauhan na pawang mga kamag-anak din niya. Pakisamahan po ninyo kami at tunghayan po natin ang kanilang istorya sa likod ng pagpipinta.
Wow, maraming salamat ding for bringing the obra maestras
Welcome.
of the Gonicea to us, taking us through yung behind the scenes no ng artistry nila. Ganun pala no, to be an artist, it's not just about painting but also from delivery, yung mga ang daming process. Thank you. Again, to our viewers, welcome. If you just joined us, we see that more people are coming in as we go along. We encourage you, please send in your questions, your comments to our photographers, and even messages of support. We can see that already in the chat box as well. We're going to be bringing them up a little later on as we go through the Q&A. Up next, we will hear from a graduate of BSBA Human Resource Development Management, Perpetual Help College, Manila. Professionally, he is a senior lead recruiter specialist, and his interests include photography, video games, and martial arts. Please welcome Rod Fernandez.
Good evening, everyone. So my essay is all about the Lakeside Barangay residents of Agoncillo. So I wanted to show the economic realities of the residents over there a year after COVID-19 and the Taal volcano eruption. The reason I wanted to cover them is because I don't see much of them being shown in the news. So I wanted to bring light to their actual situation, especially now, now that Taal is starting to act up again. So please enjoy.
Wow, the devastation is just too real through Rod's work. But he also shows us, no, that there's a silver lining beyond it. So thank you, Rod, for taking us to Taal. Also, I think a very timely presentation given what's happening now. Rod, matanong ko, nasa area ka ba ng Taal ngayon? Are you around
Uh,
Batangas?
we're within 15 kilometers of the danger zone, so yes, somewhat. Agoncillo is actually a
Okay.
20-minute drive, 15 to 20-minute drive from my place. Tapos a short trek dito sa area namin, I can see pretty much how the volcano's doing.
Okay. We wish you safety. Please take care. And anytime, let us know. We want you to be safe. And we wish you and the rest of your community safety.
Thank
Okay.
you.
And you can ask more questions to Rod and the rest of our photographers a little later on, as well as your well wishes that you're sending to us. Okay, our final presenter for tonight is a photographer, visual artist, and educator in the US. His interests include museum education, the arts, and gaming. Please welcome Jhoe Baylon.
Thank you so much, Ms. Lia. Again, good evening, everyone there in the Philippines. My story is all about the Filipino diaspora who migrated here way back in 2010 and onwards. So I just want to check out how do the pathways for immigration aside from taking nursing or other health services. So most of the stories here are either accountants, artists, and whatnot. So without further ado, this is my Kwento Serye or story series.
Thank you, Jhoe, for that Kwento Serye of Pinoys in the US. All of our graduates' photos have taken us to places where we couldn't always go, especially during this time. And I think that's the importance and beauty of photojournalism, no? Sharing other people's stories through the photographer's lens. And so there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That was our graduates from batch 2 and their work. Very splendid job, everyone. And it's interesting that just observing looking through the backgrounds of our graduates, no, they have very varied types of, they're very varied types of people, iba-iba yung ages, interests, pati yung backgrounds nila, but they've come together for their love and interest in photojournalism. And it just tells us that every person has a different vantage point and a story to tell. So in a short while, we will be having our Q&A with our featured photographers, Suzie Cembrano, Malazarte, Zaldivar, Demi Mabansay, Ebbey, Lagmay, Sulit, Rod Fernandez, and Jhoe Baylon. So again, thank you for those who have sent in their questions and their comments, as well as wonderful words of encouragement. Please feel free to send over some more. And I believe we have Noel San Andres and Vivian Valdez helping us go through the questions and comments. Noel is also a professional photographer. Hello, Noel. He's the president of Batch 1 of Photojournalism class by Pond News Asia. We're so glad you're joining us. And Vivian is a mobile photography enthusiast. She's also a graduate of the photojournalism class batch 1. So maraming salamat for joining us. Okay, so to batch 2, are you ready for your questions?
Game.
Game. Be sure that your microphones are on. Let's have a good time tonight because ito nga ang culmination and celebration of all that training, no, yung extensive learnings nyo. Simulan na natin. This question is from Vivian Valdez. To everyone, congratulations. How was the experience of making a photo story? What are the difficulties you encountered? Siguro simulan na natin with Suzie, dahil ikaw yung nauna. Suzie, ano ba yung experience mo in making the photo story?
Experience ko with photo story is the pandemic. Yun ang encounter kong. The time na nag-start ng class namin is modified and ECQ modified MCQ, modified community quarantine ata. No. Medyo mahigpit siya. Kasi sinara ng Intramuros, lahat ng entry and exit. So they only have one entrance through near PLM. So doon lang ako dumadaan. Nakatid lang ako doon and then I'll do a walking around the area. So medyo nakiramdam muna kasi ako kasi I had to familiarize myself with the people, paano sila approach. Hindi ka nang pwedeng mag-shoot kagad kasi magre-react yan, lalo na doon sa medyo yung covered ng press before, yung kanilang evacuate sila to another area kasi magkakaroon na may part ng area sa Intramuros na may-ari na ng property, kine-claim na ng may-ari yon. So, gusto nilang i-move ang mga tao doon sa part ata ng Cavite, sa bandang Cavite. So, hindi lang siya natuloy because of the pandemic. Ayaw nilang mag-move doon. At saka, may iba pa silang reason because yung livelihood nila and housing. But everything is planned by Intramuros. Hindi sila pamabayaan ng Intramuros administration and everything has a budget for them. Livelihood, housing, and relocation. Nandun ang lahat sa package na yon. So, nung medyo naglalighten na yung sa pandemic, medyo may nakilala ko isang pedicab driver, yon. Pinatour niya ako sa within the area para mas madali ako nakapag-shoot. Saka medyo ingat din kasi medyo, alam mo na, pandemic pa rin.
Yeah.
Yeah, yun. Medyo nasisita rin ng mga security do sa gate ng Intramuros, saan daw pupunta. Sabihin ko lang, kakain lang ako dyan sa sa McDonald's. Pasok na ulit, basta dire-diretso na lang. Kasi nakita nila, sushoot ako tinatago ko na yung camera. loob. So, with the experience na kailangan matuto kang medyo matagal na kasi kung na-stop ako dahil sa pandemic, nagpag-shoot sa street. So, natuto ako ulit makisalimuha sa mga tao. How to approach them, makikiusap ka, pwede ka mag-photo rito, di ka lang pwede tatayo doon. Sige, gusto ko to kailangan ko sa assignment ko. Kailangan explain mo, lalo na yung si Manok, ang pangalan niya, ang introduction sa akin. Si Manok, kung ba't daw ako nandun? Sabi ko kasi meron ako assignment pwede ba ako i-tour? Yung bang pwede mo kung papayag yung tao na pwede ko silang kunan ng photos. Sabi niya, sige ma'am, papayag naman po sila sa inyo kasi meron kayong gagawin, meron kayong purpose kung ba't kayo nandito. Saka, may ID naman po kayo yung sa Panjus Asia. Yun.
Yes.
Yeah,
Di ba? Talagang para-paraan, especially during these times, no? May mga iba-ibang queue yung dulo natin. Kahit tayo paminsan naguguluhan na tayo, but to fulfill the assignment, ganun talaga pag photographers, no? You will try really to get what it is that you need to get and to tell that story. Thank you, Suzie. Kel, ikaw naman. Si Suzie kasi kwentuhan tayo kung paano siya makipag-relate dun sa mga subjects nga na kinukunan, no? Ano ba yung experience para sa'yo? Paano mo ba how are you able to be comfortable in front of the lens? Yung nag-shoot ka.
Okay po. For this one, actually for creating the project, mas nahirapan po ako kasi kumbaga it was the second round na ng first year na ng lockdown. And then sakto, like what I mentioned earlier, parang day zero po. So kumbaga mas nasana yung katawan ko na nasa bahay lang. So parang gano'n, nagiging anxious, and then hindi na kaya po ni Susan, nahirapan na kayo makisalamuha sa tao. So it was really hard. Meron pong may times na kahit a kilometer away lang mula sa bahay namin, parang hirap yung katawan ko po, parang na-stay na lang sa bahay. So nahirapan na ako lumabas. Since work from home din po, may day job. So ayun po, parang mas nagiging preoccupied ako. And then, but however, talagang pinipilit ko na lang din. One time, nagpasama ako sa girlfriend ko para just to feel comfortable. And then, ayun po, yung sumunod na mga araw, I was able to go alone. And then, very happy kasi sila, very accommodating, and then wala namang barrier na naramdaman when talking to them. Maybe the challenge that I could say that experience is siguro yung mga magandang questions, yung mga direct to the point questions, which Sir Jimmy Domingo, our instructor, has filled in those gaps na kailangan itanong. And so yun po, with the story that I have, surprisingly, mula sa pagiging isang rice farmer back 30 years ago, and then naging urban gardener. So mayroon po nakikitang manifestation na kaya nag-shift siya from rice farmer to urban gardener dahil sa hirap ng buhay. So those kind of that kind of story from him was really surprising when that starts to unfold when covering the project.
So Kel, would you say that the person that you covered was easily comfortable yung kinukunan mo siya?
Yes po. Sabi niya nga po, tinatanong niya nung una kasi kung vlogger daw po ba ako. Kasi may one time po kasi parang months ago, I think March po ata, or I forgot. Meron daw po kasing vlogger na pumunta doon. Ang pinaka ng mga content niya is agriculture. And then ayun po, parang kumbaga hindi siya nahirapan to talk with people. But ayun po, sabi ko po, hindi po ako vlogger, project po. Tapos pinakita ko yung ID namin. Yes po. So ayun po, ayun naman. Okay naman po.
Interesting. I find it very interesting because usually what we think is yung mga kukunan natin, baka hindi sila laging komportable. Pero what I'm also learning is that because nga of the changes sa pandemic, kahit tayo mismo, we find ourselves in a position na tayo yung nag-a-adjust din. Paano nga ba? How do we approach people now? Kasi nga, we're so used to our situation, nasa bahay tayo or whatever, so we're also trying to adjust ourselves. Thank you very much for that insight, Kel. Okay, let's go to Miss Banks. I know Miss Banks to be very vibrant and very colorful, as colorful and vibrant as the photos that you shared with us earlier. Were there any instances of challenges or difficulties that you encountered in creating your photo story?
There were a lot, actually.
Really?
It's my first time to do it. So the first time that I set myself out there, it was just to, take a look and see and feel. I took photos, yeah, but they weren't intended to be for my project. It was a baptism on my part. So I took my time and I did that. And the second time around, that was when I started already taking photos. Difficulties were varied. One would be like they'd ask what it's for, and then people when you tell them that it's for, when they see that you're taking photos, kukunin nila yung mask nila, and then they said, mahirap na, baka mahuli through the photos. So the others naman, they go, ay, baka ma-viral ako, ayoko. Yung mga ganon. I don't know if it's a joke or they really just don't like it. But some people have really said no to me. They said, ayoko, baka ma-viral ako. Yeah. And the others naman, talagang poporma sila. First, they get their mask to make sure that safe sila, yung ganon. And for me, it's an awakening. Kasi sabi ko nga, it's not easy because eventually I had to interview them to get the story and all. So I think I had a hard time doing that. But eventually also people were very cooperative and I really got their hearts, and what was inside their hearts. So I love it.
I'm sure you did. Yeah, definitely. But very also surprising for me to hear that, no? Na a lot of people pala medyo apprehensive din. Pero valid din naman kasi yung concern nila, baka nga ma-social media sila. So yun din yung another layer of challenge for photographers and photojournalists ngayong this time, no?
Yes, that's true.
So thank you for shedding light to that. I thought, it was a breeze in the park for someone like you, but apparently there are still challenges involved. Okay, Demi, kwentuhan mo naman kami tungkol sa journey mo in creating your photo essay. Tell us more about your experience.
Good evening po ulit sa lahat. Nung time po na originally, my plan is to feature a classmate of mine during college. Ano din po siya, artist din po siya, katulad po ng photo essay ni Sir Ding. But unfortunately, dahil working po ako as graphic artist during weekdays, hindi po nagtugma yung schedule namin. And as advised from Sir Jimmy, that time po kasi nasimulan yung community pantries by Miss Ana Patricia noon. She started the community pantry last April, I think mid of April. And sabi ni Sir Jimmy, why don't you feature community pantries na kahit yung malapit lang sa'yo, or kasi nga nag-uusbungan na yung mga community pantries. And I was inspired to pursue it kasi nakita ko po yung dami ng tao na pumipila sa mga pantries, and yung mga oras po ng punta nila sa pantries para lang makakuha ng goods, Yung iba po, 1:00 ng madaling araw, 3:00 ng madaling araw. Yung iba naglalakad pa more than 2 kilometers away from their homes. Nagtsatsaga para makakuha ng goods. And makita ko po doon na ang daming storya ng mga pumipila sa mga community pantries. And nakita ko din po doon yung hard work ng volunteers. Kasi parang hindi lang siya about goods. Hindi lang siya about yung mga nakukuha ng mga tao na pagkain or what. It's about the effort also of the volunteers. Effort ng mga taong pumipila. Dahil parang hindi naman po magiging successful yung mga community pantry na yun dahil sa volunteers and dahil din sa mga taong pumipila. Ang hirap po ng situation din dahil sa pandemic. Yes po. Dahil sa pandemic, kailangan din nilang bayanihan din to observe physical distancing, following protocols kasi nagkaroon din po ng time na nag-stop yung ibang community pantries dahil hindi na susunod yung mga protocols or yung iba nare-red tag. But with everything's going on around our community right now, our continuous battle with COVID-19, makikita po natin talaga na tayong mga Pilipino, hanggat makakatulong, tutulong.
Galing. Very nice. So Demi, you were telling me, no, may mga nanonotice ka na yung iba 1 AM pa pumupunta, madaling araw talaga, dumadayo pa. So, gaano katagal ka nag-cover nitong community pantry na mga pinupuntahan?
Actually po, ang ginawa ko is as working during weekdays, nagkakaroon po ako ng time na bumabalik-balik po ako every Saturday para makakipag-usap sa mga tao. Tinatanong ko po sila kung anong oras na sila nandito, ganyan. Kasi po, nagpupunta ako kung anong oras magsa-start yung isang community pantry. Usually po kasi nagsa-start siya morning, 8 o'clock or 8:30 or yung iba naman po 9. Ayun po, doon ko po nalalaman. Tinatanong ko po yung mga nasa unahan na pila kasi parang paano kaya makakauna sa pila for free goods? And doon ko po nalalaman na 1 AM nandun na sila, 3 AM. Nagdadala po sila ng kanya-kanya nilang mga upuan. Ganun po.
Wow. Okay. Parang kung sa pelikula, blockbuster yung community pantries na pinupuntahan mo kasi talagang pinipilahan ng sobrang aga. Okay, thank you Demi for sharing. Kay Ebbey naman tayo. Ebbey, ano ba yung thank you. Alam mo, talagang napaka-impressive nung pinakita mo sa amin kanina. Ano ba yung mga challenges o difficulties na na-experience mo nung nagtitake ka ng mga pictures sa project na ito? Miss Ebbey, can we request for you to turn on your mic?
Okay.
Ayan.
Nakita ko kailangan kong iplanong mabuti yung pagpunta ko sa Buso-Buso sa Laurel, Batangas. Kasi I need to plan everything kasi isang beses lang ako pupunta doon. So, yung mula sasakyan, pandemic, merong mga travel restrictions. So, inayos ko lahat yon, pati sasakyan, pati yung mga dadatnan ko doon. Kasi ano lang to isang beses lang ako pupunta. At sa panahon na yon, kailangan makapture ko lahat yung pinlano kong storyline, yung istorya ko. So, yun ang mahirap. Tapos, eventually, naging maayos ang naging daloy ng pagbisita ko sa kanila. At yung mga tao, napaka-cooperative nila, nagbibigay sila ng information, talagang nagbo-volunteer pa sila ng mga data, ng info. Yun. Tapos mahalaga siguro, isa ring kong plus factor, yung ang hawak ko cellphone. Hindi sila na-intimidate, hindi sila kasi 'di ba, tsaka pagka maggaganon-ganon ka, parang hindi ko kakayanin. So yung cellphone, napakabilis kong kumuha, lahat. Oo, nakatulong 'yon.
It worked to your advantage, kumbaga.
Yes, oo.
And then yung coupled with yung time management, isa pa yun no? Kailangan talaga nating isipin, mas lalo na pag mga remote places, kailangan nating isipin, okay, how much time do I have to cover everything? Thank you, Miss Ebbey, for sharing.
In addition, lahat ng photos, karamihan ng photos nangyayari sa gitna ng lawa.
Wow! So adventure talaga yun for you.
Sige.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. I just wanted to read and share with you some of the comments from our dear viewers. Once again, good evening to everyone who's watching. Thank you for spending your Saturday with us. From Danica Vicente Agcamaran. Congratulations, Bang Zaldivar. Wonderful work. Strong closing. Wow. Okay. From Julius Avelu Pascual Lagmay. Astig mo, Nay Ebbey Pascual Lagmay. Oy, may fan club si Nanay Ebbey. From Billie Jean Viola. Congrats, everyone. Shout out to my itay ding Sulit. Proud of you po. Wow. Okay. And from Kesha or Kezai, I hope I pronounced your name, Verbo Costillas. Congratulations, Ma'am Banks. Daming fancy Miss Banks. And from Lance Joseph Esquejo, congratulations, Demi, Jhoe, Mabansay. And from Angelina Reyes, congratulations, Sir Ding, and to all the graduates. Vivian Marisigan Valdezes, mobile photography, mabuhay ka, Ma'am Ebbey. So keep your great, good vibes coming. We really appreciate them. We're gonna go now to the gentleman, okay? This other question. First, I'll address this kay Sir Ding. Ding, can you tell us how did the photojournalism program of Pond Academy help you as a photojournalist?
Good evening uli. Napakalaking tulong, for sure. At alam ko, marahil maraming nanonood na mga in-invite ako dun sa group namin na ganito ang gustong matutunan. Dahil sabi ko nga, hindi dahil ako papanoorin nyo kung hindi yung mga bagay na matututunan natin mula dito. Kaya marami na rin akong in-invite and hopefully mag-enroll na sila para sa third batch. About po doon, no? Talagang una, sabi ko nga una dahil medyo matagal na rin akong photographer but still patuloy na nag-aaral. At ngayon dito sa panahon na to, dito ko natutunan yung sinasabi ko nga last time during our class. Talagang siguro kung natutunan ko to before during early 80s ay baka mas marami pang magaganda lalong nagawang mga pictures, film pa during the time. Kaya ang laking tulong nitong Pond Asia, Pond Academy. At alam nyo, regarding dun sa yung kangina, yung ano ba yung mga challenges na naranasan namin during the coverage. Dahil ako ay photographer naman, pag kumuha lang ako ng images, medyo kuha lang ako ng kuha. Pero during my dito assignment na binibigay ni Sir Jimmy, na-challenge ako talagang honestly dito sa project na to, bago ko natapos kuhanan, i-cover itong lahat, naranasan kong gumising ng 4 o'clock hanggang gabi, mga 10 o'clock nandun ako sa field, sa labas, para masundan ko yung lahat ng mga galaw nitong mga kino-cover ko na igagawa ko ng photo essay. Pero iyon, hindi ko dati nagagawa yung mga ganon. Pero dahil ngayon ay nakafocus ako dahil mayroong clear instruction and directions from the Pond Asia, nakita ko yung ito pala ang kailangan mong gawin para makagawa ka ng magandang istorya. Ayun. Kaya
Mm-mm.
I hope na magamit ko pa ito in the future sa marami pang mga pagkakataon as a volunteer photographer, and at the same time ay gusto ko rin talagang makapag-share dun sa mga incoming photojournalist, yung mga kabataan ngayon. Yan. Kaya maraming salamat po sa Pandasia, and God bless us all.
Napakagandang message. Thank you, Ding. What I like from what you said is marami pa tayong matututunan kahit na matagal na tayong nagpa-practice ng photography or whatever craft it is. There's always something new that we can learn. I like that humility and your generosity. Okay, let's go to Rod this time. Rod, sabihan mo naman kami, kwentuhan mo kami. How did this photojournalism program of Pond Academy help you as a photojournalist?
All right. So first of all, I'd like to start by saying I was a photographer beforehand, but it wasn't in the same genre as what Pod News Asia does. So I was actually more of a landscape photographer. So when I was in Dubai for 6 years, that's pretty much what I did during my last 2 years over there. Going out every now and then. So nung nasa Pinas na nga, so I wanted to take on a new genre of photography, and given the current situation here, pandemic and all, I can't really do travel photography or landscape photography much. So I chose to do yung photojournalism. In terms of helping me out as a photojournalist, ang dami ko natutunan. Like for example, yung tinuro ni Sir Jimmy, which is very important to me, yung language of the image, right? So it's yun yung hindi ko alam dati kasi when you're shooting landscapes or buildings, there's no emotion involved, right? It's really more of appreciating the architecture or yung yung landscape itself. But with photojournalism, it's like street photography and portrait photography combined into one. It's like combining all those elements I've learned. So with what I've learned kay Sir Jimmy, by taking photos at a certain angle, a certain light, you're able to convey a different kind of information to the viewers. So, and it also gives you a greater appreciation for the craft, right? So kumbaga minsan kasi if you're just looking at photos sa newspaper, you think, oh okay, may photo parang ganun lang, you just see it as a photo, but you don't really understand what goes into creating that image. So when I enrolled, it helped me understand how to take photos better in such a way na you not just show them an image, you're actually showing them a story of what's going on in just one photo. Kumbaga, doon talaga na-solidify yung sinasabi na, a photo tells a story of 1,000 words.
Yeah. And I think you've come for full circle, no? As a photographer, also as someone who views the photo, now you see it in a totally different angle and light because of the course.
Exactly.
Thank you, Rod, for sharing.
Welcome.
Okay, now we're gonna go to Jhoe. Jhoe, tell us how did this program of Pond Academy help you as a photojournalist?
Hi, good evening po ulit sa lahat. Actually, the idea here when I took the course that I would like to have a framework, so a nice framework being a photojournalist vis-a-vis being just a photographer. So I was really grateful for Sir Jimmy, Sir Jhoe Galvez, Sir Richel, Sir Edwin Tuyay. I mean, just looking at their pictures, you have a certain viewpoint, no? As opposed to just being an event photographer or a wedding photographer for that matter. So really thankful, even though I have to wake up like 2 a.m. here in San Jose. So that's the idea. I'm really thankful for sharing a framework for being a photojournalist vis-a-vis being just a photographer. So maraming salamat po for Pan News Asia.
Okay, thank you very much, Jhoe. We're gonna wrap up our Q&A in just a bit, but may mga humahabol pa ng well wishes from Isa Brilia. Congratulations, Kel Malazarte. May si Sir Edwin, sinasabi ko, third batch, okay? And siguro, I'll just ask this question to a few people. If we were not under a pandemic, what would be a dream photo story that you'd like to make? Miss Banks?
I have always wanted to present to the world what happens behind a beautiful wedding.
Mm-hmm.
We all have our roles to play. Some people do not know what's really going on behind just to come up with that one beautiful production number in a day. So I know I'll pursue that. It's my dream project, and I can do that when there's no pandemic anymore, because as of now we can't. There's just not too many events at the moment. And of course, my dream also of unmasking, uncovering the real person behind vloggers and bloggers. No, are they real? Are they really authentic? Are they really showing us stuff to inspire us, just visually, but mentally, psychologically? Do they match? So this thing.
Mm-mm. Very, very interesting and very relevant also yung vlogger, basta the social media personalities, unmasking them, just like our theme is tonight. Ding, ikaw, kung walang pandemic, ano ang dream project mo?
Actually, more on photography pa din no? But still, kakaiba yung gusto kong gawin dito during, kung hindi pandemic, no? Ituloy-tuloy ko yung mga events, especially dun sa school na meron akong kumbaga nag-tie up ko para gawin yon, yung mga especially graduation photos, etc. Pero hindi nangyari ito. 2 years na, 2 graduation na bale, no? 2 graduation. Kaya talagang yun yung talagang na-miss ko ng todo-todo since 1991.
Wow!
Kaya iyon talaga. Yeah, oo. Talagang na-miss ko ng todo yun. At for 2 years now, 2 graduations, na hindi na ginawa ito. Wala na talaga. Kaya yun talaga yung gusto kong gawin uli. At sobrang nami-miss ko yung mga bagay na yan. Yan.
Oo. So, aabangan natin sana magbalik ang events, ang sigla ng events in better times, of course, when things are safer. Siguro, do we still have time for more questions?
Yes. Maybe we should proceed.
Okay, we're gonna wrap up. Yes, we're gonna wrap up. Maybe from the class president na lang. Ano ang mensahe mo, Kel, sa mga gusto o nagnanais na sumali sa Pond Academy bilang isang photojournalist? Any message or advice for the next batches?
Yeah, yun po. For those who wanted to take up the course, I highly encourage you to do so. Kasi for my experience, I was very grateful. I was looking for something that will, enhance yung photojournalism. It was really hard to find parang professional development courses, and then luckily, Panjus Asia was able to provide it to people like us. So if you are really interested in photojournalism, and then you wanted to have intensive learning, Academy or Panjus Asia will be able to provide that to you, and ready na po kayo sa batch 3. Ayun lang po. Thank you. And God bless.
Thank you, ready na. Yes. Thank you. May humabol pa na shout out para kay President Kel. Ang gwapo daw ng President Kel. Thank you much. And grabe, napasarap yung natin. I wish we had more time. We've made our evening even richer. And thank you, Noel and Vivian, for helping us out with the questions. There you have it, our graduates. They've shared their vision, their stories, their work, and like in a graduation where students are presented with their diplomas, in this virtual graduation, we're going to be presenting the certificates and IDs that come with this course for each graduate. To help us do that, I'd like to invite back the co-founder of Pond News Asia, Mr. Edwin Tuyay.
Yes. So, Sir Jimmy, graduate na ba talaga?
Yung question pa.
Yo. So, we will present the certificate of graduation to the following. Okay. Pass certificate of completion. This is to certify that Jhoe Baylon, Ding, si Sir Ding, and Avelina Lagmay, si Demi, Rachel, Jhoe Mabansay, Zaldivar, Malazarte, Rod Fernandez, Susan Cembrano, and of course, na-miss ba ako? So, I will just read the citation, certificate of completion. This is to certify that all 8 graduates of Batch 2 has successfully fulfilled the requirements for Photojournalism certification program, an 11-week online program led by Sir Jimmy Domingo for professional photographers looking to advance their skills and careers in photojournalism. The syllabus included digital file management, personality portraits, news caption writing, language of the image, ethics in photojournalism, and photos essay development, brief and opportunities from industry. Given on this day of June, it's supposedly on June 26, but now it's July 3, 2021, signed by Demi here, Edwin Tuyay, Panyos Asia, and Sir Richel Mascareñas. Will also receive your official press ID from Panyos Asia. Congratulations, Batch 2 graduates.
Thank you, Mr. Tuyay. And congratulations to all of our graduates. Graduate na talaga.
Yeah.
O, di ba?
Official.
Marami pong salamat.
Talagang ang lalaki ng mga ngiti ng ating mga graduates. They're brimming with pride after all the hard work and learning. So we're gonna let you bask in this, okay? Tandaan niyo yung mga, all the learnings, ang mga pagod, ang hirap, because now we're gonna enjoy a special musical number from our saxophonist who performs in many various events and functions, Josh Calvin Teo.
Yes.
Thank you, Josh, for filling our
Wow.
evening with your beautiful music. Bravo! O, diba? And for a special surprise to the mentors of Batch 2, I'd like to turn over the screen back to Batch 2's class president. Kel, take it away.
Thank you, Miss Leah. One moment. Let me just share my screen here. There. We would like to extend our appreciation to Sir Jhoe Galvez, one of our guest mentors. He was able to provide his knowledge about photojournalism for being in the industry for how many years. So thank you, sir, Sir Jhoe. And then
You're welcome.
and then for Sir Jimmy Domingo, especially our instructor for 11 weeks. We are really grateful for you to your assistance, sir. We appreciate you a lot. So thank you so much, sir. And then lastly, sayang wala po si Sir Rolex de la Peña. He is a staff photographer of EPA. Fortunately, he is covering the Taal incident, so he was not able to attend tonight. But yun po, we would like to extend our appreciation and gratitude to Sir Rolex de la Peña, sharing his experiences and knowledge. Those insights were very helpful and the questions that we raised before were answered. So thank you po. Thank you po sa inyong lahat, Sir Jimmy, Sir Jhoe, and Sir Rolex.
Thank you, Kel, for expressing Batch 2's gratitude to your teachers and mentors who made this program so enlightening and enriching for you. And now we're going to hear from some of them. For a short message, I'd like to invite this accomplished educator who has taught photography and photojournalism courses at the Ateneo de Manila University for 8 years. He's currently a senior lecturer at the University of the Philippines, Diliman, and is also an associate professorial lecturer at De La Salle University, Manila. He has also teaching stints in Nigeria, Sri Lanka, and Nepal, and he's a professional photojournalist who contributes news and editorial images to various Philippine, Asian, and international news organizations and media agencies. He completed the training of photojournalism tutors program of the World Press Photo Academy in Amsterdam, the Netherlands. He finished a certificate course on mobile journalism at the Asian Center for Journalism at the Ateneo de Manila University, and he's currently taking up MA in journalism at the Asian Institute of Journalism and Communication. He has developed and teaches photojournalism to PON News Asia students. Please welcome Mr. Jimmy Domingo. Sir Jimmy.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Hello, magandang gabi sa inyong lahat. Pasensya na po kayo kasi anong tawag nito, mabagal yung connection ko ngayon. Wala kaming converge. Kaya nakadata ako pero mabagal. Anyway, nasundan ko naman paputol-putol yung mga presentations, no? Ang sasabihin ko lang po ay maraming salamat sa pagkakataon na ibinibigay lagi ng Pan News Asia at Pan News Asia Academy para maipagpatuloy itong course na ito.
Sir Jimmy, are you still there? Okay. It seems like, sir, I can still see you. Okay.
Ayun, napuputol talaga.
Yes, please continue, sir. Okay lang po. Parte po yan ng ating sitwasyon ngayon. Please continue.
Oo nga. Napakahalaga ngayon ang patuloy na pag-aaral, no, sa visual journalism, hindi lang photojournalism, kasama yung multimedia, no? Kasi mabilis na nagbabago ngayon ang visual storytelling at sobrang napakaraming challenges na hinaharap ang mga photographer, ang mga visual journalists, no. Ang nakita natin ngayong gabi ay actually yung photo essays na pinakita ng yung batch 2 ay isang maliit na bahagi lang yan, no, ng kanilang output at kanilang participation dun sa class. Masyadong marami pang inaral, katulad ng ethics sa visual journalism at yung changing media landscape, hindi lang sa Pilipinas kundi sa buong mundo. Maraming discussions na nangyari, so naniniwala ako na hindi lang pag-picture, no, pagkuha ng litrato at pag-develop ng photo essay yung dala-dala nila ngayon, kundi yung mas malawak na pag-unawa doon sa mundo ng visual journalism ngayon, no. At yun lagi ang sinasabi ko sa mga workshop na nagaganap, na patuloy nating palawakin ang ating pag-unawa sa visual journalism kasi lahat ngayon ay pwede nang magkwento, no? May camera na lahat, may cellphone, may camera na lahat, pero ang mas malaking challenge sa atin ay ano ba talaga ang mahahalagang kailangan nating ikwento, ano? At sino yung mga audience natin? Kaya muli, congratulations dun sa mga kasali sa batch 2. Gusto kong samantalahin yung pagkakataon ulit. Maraming salamat, Jhoe. Nandito si Jhoe Galvez. Kasama siya lagi mula pa nung batch 1. Si Rolex, wala siya dito. At syempre ulit kay Edwin, tsaka kay Richelle. At bilang panghuli, congratulations dito sa mga kasama ng batch 2. At gaya ng sinasabi natin kapag nagse-session tayo pag tuwing Sabado, no, naging 11 weeks nga yung course natin, no. Hindi pa tapos yung ating pag-aaral, tuloy-tuloy tayong mag-aaral at tuloy-tuloy tayong mag-produce ng mga kwento. Importante ngayon yung kwento ng mga komunidad, no, yung mga hindi napupuntahan ng mga tinatawag na professional photojournalist. Kung nasaan tayo, nandun na ang kwento. So patuloy nating ikwento ang mga kwento ito. Kaya ang tawag sa atin di ba? Community photojournalist tayo, no? Ang kwento ngayon ay nasa ating mga tahanan, nasa ating kapitbahay, nasa ating barangay. Wala sa Malacanang, wala sa Senado, wala sa Kongreso. Ang kwento ay nasa ating mga tahanan at nasa ating mga puso. Maraming salamat po. Thank you, Ma'am Lia. I hope to meet you soon.
Maraming salamat, Sir Jimmy. Thank you very much for grounding us, for putting the heart into photojournalism. And sir, alam ko na hindi pa po tayo nag-meet in person. Ngayon lang po tayo nag-meet virtually. Pero I can tell na there's so much pride from your students na ikaw po ang nagturo sa kanila. And the same goes for those who have instructed, who have mentored this batch. They are so proud of their mentors, their teachers. Palakpakan. Let's give them a virtual round of applause. Thank you for sharing your talents, your expertise to, of course, these students. Now we're going to move on to our next speaker, who has lent his precious time and valuable talent and expertise in molding students of photojournalism by Pan News Asia. He's the former photo editor of GMA 7 Online News. Please welcome Mr. Jhoe Galvez.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Lia. Actually, I am speechless, no? Napanood ko yung mga presentation ng bawat miyembro ng batch 2, and I am simply amazed by how they approach their stories, no? It is indeed community photojournalism, and actually this is something new, no? Hindi pa masyadong ginagawa, no, ng mga tao outside photojournalism. And I have also attended some online workshops and meetings with foreign photojournalists, no? And we have also they have also tackled this kind of approach. It's a new medium in photojournalism that does not require a professional photographer or a professional photojournalist to do the stories, no, the visual stories. So it's a good thing that nasimulan dito sa Pilipinas, or kung hindi man nasimulan sa Pilipinas, in some other countries, pero we are way ahead, no, with some other countries in doing so. So I guess yung batch 1 and batch 2 ng Pandi News Asia certificate course, no, are very lucky to be part of this endeavor, of this learning process, na sana dalhin niyo at maging prolific essay writers kayo and essay visualists, no? Maganda yan. Iba na kasi ang landscape ngayon sa photojournalism. Hindi katulad ng mga analog days, no? Free for all. Ngayon medyo meron ka ng mga iniisip na meron ka ng karga sa morality mo, may mga ethics, no? Which is right. Tama lang yun na medyo for the new generation, gathering stories for visual stories should have some ethical checkups, no, para masabi natin na maayos ang pagkakagawa, no? Walang masasaktan at klaro ang konteksto ng inyong ginagawa, nang sa ganun ay malinawan ng inyong viewers kung ano yung ginawa ninyo, no? At saka ang importante diyan is to catch the attention of the viewers or the readers, is to make them part of your story, no? Make them relate to the story kahit na hindi sila taga Cavite, hindi sila taga Batangas, no? Kahit na taga Bicol sila pero ang gumawa ng ang story is about Batangas, but somehow somewhere in that story can relate to another person, to another family, to another community somewhere in the Philippines, no? Kaya it is better that yung mga small stories na yan, pwedeng lumaki yan. At pwedeng pick upin din yan ng ibang media organizations. So it's a, what you call this, in the digital age ngayon, lalo na may pandemic, kontrolado yung movements natin, I guess the best thing to do is, while you're not heading out to take pictures, is try to plot stories, no? Ano ba pwede kong gawin pag lalabas ako ng bahay? Sino ba yung particular na subject ang pwede kong gawa na storya? Ano bang komunidad ang pwede kong gawa na storya, no? Actually, hindi ko na papahabahin ito, no? Actually, kung mapapansin niyo sa Facebook page ko, I'm doing a lot of series of about photojournalism, ano? Kasi habang tumatanda na ako, baka mawala na yan, mawala na sa memory ko yung mga isinusulat ko. At habang buhay pa rin yung mga subjects na isinusulat ko, no, magandang i-record at i-document yung mga nakaraan, no? And where the new generation of photographers, especially mga digital photographers ngayon, can pick up from what was the past, no? Actually, meron ng I'll be coming up with a story about the Philippines being the best training ground for photojournalism. This is something new because of the convolutions of events in the Philippines. Maraming makokoberan dito. No, we are a country full of theatrical activities or events, no, which is worth which has editorial values. Yun ang importante doon, and human interest. So maybe when I come up with that story within the week on the Philippines as the best training ground for photojournalists and would-be photojournalists, malalaman nyo yung ins and outs ng analog and digital days, no? So yun, at least meron na kayong background on photojournalism. Yun ang pinaka-importante sa lahat, no? Just do it. And again, I'd like to thank you all, and I would like to kung pwede lang, I'd like to hug you all, no? Kaya lang bawal, kailangan naka-face mask tayo at naka-kasyon. So ganito na lang, a big congratulations to batch 2 of the News Asia Photojournalism Certificate course. Mabuhay kayo, magpadami kayo. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sir Jhoe, and we appreciate your graciousness. And you're paving the way for this new generation of photojournalists also. And I like what you said what I've learned from you is hindi lang enough yung skill, hindi lang enough yung storytelling, kailangan ng ethics. And thank you for teaching that to this batch. And we hope that there will be many more groups of photojournalists who will learn from you. Maraming salamat, Mr. Jhoe Galvez.
Thank you.
Okay, we are about to wrap up the evening. Before we do that, of course, we have one more very special person who will speak for us tonight. But can we also request a group photo? If you can all indulge us, please turn on your cameras. We want to, of course, remember this evening, this very special gathering. Who's going to take the photo? Can we assign someone? Jhoe, can you do the screenshot? Okay. Okay. So yes. Okay. I will count to 3. So flash your best smiles. Jhoe, are you ready? In 3, 1, 2, 3. Smile. Okay. You can change your pose. One more. 1, 2, 3. Smile. And last one. 1, 2, 3. Smile. Okay, thank you very much for joining our group photo. And at this point, I am happy to introduce to you for the closing message. I think someone very dear to everyone's heart here. He's photography instructor at the Philippine Center for Creative Imaging, the past president of the Society of Portrait Photographers of the Philippines. He's also the past president of Wedding and Portrait Photographers of the Philippines and the founder of Photographers Helping Photographers. He's an award-winning portrait and wedding photographer with over 30 years of experience as a professional photographer and as the founder of Photographer On Demand Incorporated, or POND. Please welcome Mr. Richel Mascareñas.
Good evening. Thank you very much, Miss Lia Guerrero, our professional and fabulous MC, no? And thank you also to our saxophonist, no? Hindi ko akalain na live pala yon, no? Si Josh Tew. So, atinista rin, Prof. Jimmy. Atinista rin pala siya. Okay, so first of all, congratulations to Batch 2, no? Napakagaling ng pinakita ninyo. I was present during the lessons, no? Paggabi na nagle-lessons sila, present ako. Pero I told them na I don't want to join them pagka nag-test run sila kasi I want to be surprised. So I'm sure na makakatulog na kayo ngayon na mahimbing, no? We had very long nights with Professor Jimmy Domingo and Sergio Galvez, no? Pati nga yung beauty sleep ni Sergio nababawasan tuloy, no? Napapahaba tayo. Those were very intensive lessons. Siyempre naman, UP professor yan, no? UP, Ateneo, Lasal. So ano pang hahanapin mo kay Prof. Jimmy? At napahirap pa yan dahil nga sa pandemic. Kaya nahirapan tayong kumuha ng mga larawan. But you made it all, no? Congratulations sa inyong lahat. Naging very productive ang ang lockdown natin dahil dito. Okay, but rest assured na ang Pan-News Asia ay palaging magsusupport sa inyo sa inyong journey into photojournalism. At lalo magiging exciting ito, no, sa i-announce sa inyo ngayon na we are about to launch yung ating fund image bank, no. It's the first image bank sa Philippines, no. I don't know sa Philippines, I'm sure na nag-iisa lang ito sa Philippines. So pakita ko lang sa inyo. I want to share my screen. So, binura ko lang yung address, no? Pero ito yung ating, meron tayong Pan-News Asia na website. At yung ginagamit natin kasi ngayon ay regular na website, no? Hindi siya pang, kaya wala siyang search functions. So ito meron na. At gaya niyan, no? Makakapili na yung mga magsusubscribe sa atin. Ayan. Merong stock photos and of course may video rin. At ang magandang feature nito, pwedeng mag-hire ng photographer yung mga ahensya, no, or mga companies. They can ask for photographers from Pan-News Asia, photographers and videographers. At itong huli, no, ini-screenshot ko kanina, nagsasalita si Kel, kaya kasama siya diyan. So may pricing. So pero hindi pa yan yung actual price. Chine-check pa lang namin kung ano yung tamang pricing. Okay, so now gusto kong pasalamatan, no, syempre si Prof. Jimmy, no, napakagaling na photojournalism instructor, at syempre si Sergio Galvez, very very generous, no, no holds barred pag si Sergio, no, lahat walang sikreto sa photojournalism, lahat ibibigay niya sa inyo, no? Talagang nagsusupport siya sa younger generations ng mga photojournalist, as ginagawa niya ngayon naman yung istorya nung nakaraang henerasyon ng gumagamit ng film. I-friend niyo si Sergio, no? Sundan niyo yung kanya mga story ng mga photojournalists sa kanyang Facebook account. And of course, gusto kong pasalamatan ang Batch 1 President, no, si Noel San Andres, at siyempre si Vivian at yung kanyang mobile group, no, very active sila sa Pan-News Asia sa pagpo-post ng mga pictures. Natuwa din ako kay Jhoe, no. Dati kong student sa PCCI, wedding photography I think, no. Kasi iba yung time zone niya sa California, so talagang challenge sa kanya yung matapos itong, at siya rin yung host ng ating Zoom ngayon, Zoom meeting. So ang aga niyang ginawa ito, sabi niya kanina 2 o'clock, no, ng madaling araw. Okay, and syempre kay Lando Velasco, seminary classmate, no, hindi kami pareho natuloy kasi ayaw nila sa amin o may nakita kaming may minahal na iba. So, thank you, Lando. Lando is now in Greece, no? I think he just arrived in Greece this morning. Actually, may self-serving intentions ako, no, kung bakit ko siya in-invite. Kasi gusto ko talaga yung stories on global warming na ma-introduce, no, sa ating mga photojournalists, no. Like yung kay Elmer na story last time sa Batch 1, yung Arboretum, yung mini forest, no, sa may UP. Nasa paligid lang natin, even dito sa Metro Manila, no, lalo sa mga probinsya, nandiyan lahat sa paligid lang nating story. At yun yung purpose natin as a community photojournalist, no, to tell the story para makarating sa kinauukulan, makarating sa mga tao, no, na dapat tayong gumalaw ngayon na. Well, actually late na, pero we have to do something about global warming. And lastly, of course, kay Brother Edwin, no, ang aking kakapihan diyan sa pandemic wall, no. Medyo na bumagal yung aming kapihan diyan dahil nung nangailangan kami magpa-vaccine shots, no. Pero yan kasing pandemic wall, yan yung si Edwin may idea nung i-retool, no, ang mga kaibigan nating photographers, because during pandemic nakita niya na mga photojournalist lang ang lumalabas at yung mga kasamahan namin sa events, I'm a wedding photographer, wedding and portrait photographer. Wala kami mga trabaho. So we have the equipments, we have the knowledge in exposure, no. Pero sabi ni Edwin, we have to retool everyone, no, yung mga kaibigan natin para matutunan nila yung photojournalism. So ito yon. We have the batch 2 already, Brother Edwin. Magkapit-bahay kasi kami, kaya mabilis kami mag-meeting. Kakatok lang ako sa kanya, meeting na kami, no? Okay. So, lastly, batiin ko lang din yung si Mang Ramon, no? Nanonood siya, at saka yung si John Tronco, yung kaibigan natin, John Tronco and the Bhutan photo team, no? And isa pa pala, we'd like to express also our condolences, no, sa kapatid natin na very active sa Pan-News Asia, si Joel Mataro, for the loss of his father. So kaya wala siya sa atin. Hindi natin siya kasama ngayon dito. Thank you everyone for watching, and God bless you all. Back to you, Miss Lia.
Thank you very much, Sir Richelle, for aptly closing tonight's event. And I have to thank you for creating Pod News Asia. You have this community, a very unique, one-of-a-kind community that's not just talented, but is generous, kind, and truly gives back. And I think there's so much to be proud of. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's our program for tonight. We'd like to congratulate once again our new graduates. Thank you to their mentors as well as our speakers and to those who helped make tonight a memorable evening. And to my friend, Ms. Bang Zaldivar, thank you. Once again, ako po si Lia Guerrero-Santos. You have been a most wonderful audience. Thank you for joining us. Have a good evening, everyone. Be